Hi, I'm Rosie.
Yay, I'm back on YouTube.
Welcome to my channel where I look into what's going on intuitively in the world, from the political to the personal. I have a Patreon channel linked below, and I do personal readings. So, okay, so hello guys, this is Rosie. Hello everybody, welcome, Rosie's Psych Investigator. So I'm here with Corina. Corina is on.
Hello, everybody.
So we're recording. I would say we're not exactly experimenting with formats, but we are just because I realize it's probably easier, especially as it gets more complex as we read all the comments. We really enjoy reading all the comments, and the video kind of blew up and got a lot of views. It's getting a lot of views. So I thought this would be an interesting way for Corina and I to look at your questions together. But before I do that, Corina, one of the things that I've observed, and of course Corina observed too, is that people had questions about you, Corina. So do you want to just, just you do a little, because I introduced you very briefly, but if you have something else that you want to say, okay, go ahead. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to close my video.
I guess I could just start by saying how we kind of came about and a little bit of our journey together. And I've always been intuitive. I've never really thought of myself as a psychic. I guess at this point, I would say I'm more of a channeler, if that would be right. Which I don't even know how to describe that. But anyway, I guess I came to you by this was at the start of it for me too, and I imagine it is for a lot of people, when Trump won 2016. And this is, a good insight to our videos that we're talking about now. In my body just shut down. I was completely destroyed. I have extreme empathy and I feel everything, and I went into complete trauma. And I was already dealing with sickness. I had mercury poisoning for years. So when this came along, it was like, and I had open heart surgery in 2015. So this was just a progression of illnesses and illnesses. And finally, I knew there was more to it than just illness. It wasn't just a physical thing. There was something spiritual happening within myself. And I kept getting the messages of that, like cellular memory kind of thing. And so I ended up finding Kirsten Langston. She was the first one to come out, and I had a reading with her. And she kind of gave me so much hope. And she talked a little bit about myself, which at the time it was like, oh, okay. But I always knew I was intuitive, but she kind of said, Corina, this is really an honor to do this reading for you. And I was like, well, thank you. I'm the one that feels honored. And she goes, no, what they're showing me is I'm here. You're up in these different realms that you pick up different things, like frequencies and that kind of thing. And I kind of was a little flabbergasted, but I also kind of feel like I knew that. I've always been affected by tones, frequencies, that kind of thing. So then, after that, and she asked me at that point if I talked to dead people, and I said, yeah, I think I kind of had a few conversations. And she had said, well, you're gonna. So anyway, a while later, she had recommended this new reader, Linda G. And I was like, I was always the first one, so I got a reading with Linda G. And when I spoke with Linda G, I was still having so many medical issues. And I asked, please, am I going to find somebody to help me? I need somebody who can help me see this stuff. And she had said, yes, by next summer, you're going to meet somebody who's going to help you. Well, sure enough, by that summer, I was watching a video on TV from Rosie, and I saw you. Somebody had asked you a question about the brain, autism. and you were looking inside the brain and you were talking. And I had this overwhelming, oh my God, she can see inside the body. And the next day I was on the horn to you, like, can you help me? And that's how you and I started. And, along the way, I've always met in my life, I've always had clients that were psychics when I had my own businesses. I've met intuitives that have always told me things. Like I had one tell me one time, oh my God, Corina, you were in the Tesseract. You had the ability. You looked in the Tesseract. I didn't, and I only knew that was what was that was because I've seen that movie. But she said, you went to this time and went, oh, that's where I'm going. I'm going there and I'm doing this. And so now that kind of all makes sense to me. That never really resonated. But as Rosie and I have been working together, all this stuff has come about within me over the years. And honestly, it's like it didn't even really hit me that I had this stuff until the last couple of years when you started asking me questions. Because you're like, hey, you're really intuitive. And so then it kind of started where you and I worked together.
So yeah, so is it okay? Just,
Yeah,
I think maybe also this is interesting, right? Just what happened. So then, as it, you started to get, I mean, you can say that you got better, right, Corina, from where we first started talking and everything, and you progressed a lot and everything. And then also, like, we developed, I guess we can say, a friendship, right? And then
absolutely.
I would like exchange. I was like, oh, can I ask you a question, Corina? She's like, yeah, sure. And then there was a class. Remember, you took that class? I taught a class.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then how that was about visions and everything. And then
remember how scared I was to take that? Like, Rosie, I don't have this.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And then we started to, I mean, I think maybe is it after? I don't remember. But at some point we just started talking and then started talking once a week. And it's like, I think maybe this will probably help people understand because we have a kind of like a natural rapport. But it's because we normally would talk every week about our progress in our different realms in our lives and so forth. And we kind of basically do readings for each other once a week, right? That's not right. It's a conversation, but it's sort of like a reading. So that's why I think so that's how the report comes about, right? And then, and I feel like this whole thing with just the way, okay, and then when was it, Corina, that it started? Like we used to have these conversations, like because as we would talk about what's going on in our lives, then we would, especially, I can say that about you, Corina, that you especially would pick up a lot of stress about things that are going on in the world in your body. Like you would feel it a lot in your body. It would disrupt you a lot. So so then we would always end up having to kind of talk about what's going on in the world and like the energies you were picking up. And then there was recently they had said something because by the way, I do record and I think you do too, Corina, right? Like you record all our
recorded everything. Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, there was this part of the conversation. Is it okay if I share that? Because I thought it was interesting. And that's how we progress. And then this thing, and then we texted each other. The night like of the election, and that's where we are. That's why I think it works, right, Corina? Don't you think? I think it works, this format, and that's
it does.
I think it's good, and I think and I think just because I was like, I'm just also to introduce a bit of like how this video is going to be today, and I think of course, correct me if I'm wrong, Corina, but I do think that we have we have different styles, right? We could say that I do have this sort of like analytical side where like I want to answer the question. Let's get to I have this almost like a philosophy about the questions. You have to ask the question because that centers the reading, right? And I think especially I was listening to some of the things we were talking about, and I feel like looking at the questions now is the time to then be a little bit more focused, right, Quinn? Don't you think I am more naturally like this?
Yes, you're very much like that.
Oh, and also, like, by the way, just because people like there was some, and I may have deleted Karina. I don't know if I allowed, whatever you saw these, but there's things like, who is Corina? I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but how am I supposed to trust what she has to say? Like, I mean, they were, with some it is what there were some questions, so I think I probably deleted whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I just to tell you, this is my testimony about Corina. So Corina, since she said she has been helping me because I have my anxieties, right? You may not know this about my life and different things, and so she's been so accurate. She's my friend, of course, right? And she tells me things that I don't want to hear sometimes. I can that. So I like, oh, okay, thanks. And then I was like, oh, Corina, you know what? You're right about that, huh? And I'm getting better, but I used to be like, Corina, I really want this thing. I applied for this thing. I did that. Like, is it gonna really happen the way? And he'd be like, Rosie, maybe not now. Okay. Like I see that it's for your best, for the best. And I'd be like, oh, okay. And it would happen. Like,
Yeah.
later I'd be like, well, yeah, that was not really meant to happen. This person is like this is like that. And it's like, but it's like a friendship, right, Corinne, in a way.
Mhm.
So I can say that Corina has said things that I did not want to hear, and they were true. So I trust her 100%. I trust you, Corina, right? I would trust you
Yeah.
100%. I can say
Yeah.
that. So,
Yep,
okay.
we trust each other
Right?
100%. And we do have different styles, and I think that's why we work together.
Uh-huh.
I think when we first started doing these kind of together where we ask each other, I'm not gonna I think you would agree in the beginning it was a little frustrating because you would push me for details and I would push back and say, Rosie, I don't get the details like you do. I get the bigger picture. But
Mhm.
you know what? It gelled into this
Mhm.
kismet situation where now it's like we work so well together because of that.
Mhm. That's
And
right.
I get more details because of you, and
Right.
you get the bigger picture because of me. So I think that works. That's how we work so well together.
All right, awesome. So I think it's great, Corina. Thank you. So I think it's a good, right? It's
Yes.
an introduction. Also,
And I don't have a YouTube channel.
right.
I don't have anything like that at this time. And the reason I never even that's just wasn't I always had to protect my energy. So I
That's
don't put myself out there like that. But at this moment in time, I don't think that is the purpose even for me right now, but I am happy to work with you.
okay. Yeah, and also I just goes to Corina. If things change on her end, if she happens to have a website at some point that she wants to share, we will do that. But for now, right?
Yeah,
You just
because I feel like I work more with energy and crystals, and
that's right. That's
it's
right.
I'm not really a tarot reader. It's
Okay.
more of the channeling thing.
Great. Cool. That's good. Oh, great. Great. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Great. Great. So okay. So let's move on to the next stage. Okay, guys. So I'm back here with Corina, and so we're gonna answer some of the comments, and we may start recording now, take a break, and then come back later. But we discussed some of the things the patterns of the issues that came up, and one of the most consistent things that I have seen are people recently, especially asking me or Corina, like, should we keep this secret? Like, oh, you know what? You have all this information. Maybe you help them. Like, maybe this should be. And I think both of us, and actually we can ask Spirit too, just to double check, but towards the end. But just saying, like, Corina and I discuss this, that this is our duty. And that's what I think Spirit wants us to do. They want us to share with you what we're seeing so that I think, because the thing that we are trying to clear here and to help people is to help them feel that they're not alone, right? Because
Right.
when I first posted that video of, was it the day before? Okay, this is November 6th, right? Not the one day yesterday. Like, I was like a little hesitant at first. I was like, oh, you should just keep it to Patreon. But then when I was like, oh, maybe people should, because there may be people who are like wondering. And then I saw how it resonated. And I feel like that's what the point of this is, okay, is to really share that with people so that we have to normalize this information and
Right.
normalize that we really truly believe that Kamala won the election. It shouldn't be
And we
secret
all know it.
that, right? Like, because the data, putting aside the quote unquote psychic aspect, the data, the math does not work.
The simple math does not add
Okay,
up. It's
so
simple math.
that should not be like, oh my God, is that like, no, I don't think it matters. And I to also ask Quinn about this, and I will share a little with you. I, in terms of the, like, oh, other intelligence, I have received messages that I believe are from, that country's intelligence services in past videos I've done for, during the Trump administration. I've also become an SEC whistleblower for something, and I took a lot of risk, especially with the one with the whistleblower. I
Mm-hmm.
something very big with very important, powerful people. I stopped something bad from happening. I directly interfered, and I gave my
Yep.
name, real name. They have my information, but this is part of I don't think our journey
Yeah.
here on Earth, and also, and this is like may sound a little. I don't need to go into the religious thing. Everybody believes what they want to believe or whatever, but I feel like if you're Christian and if you believe, like, oh, it don't have to be Christian, other religions. I think we're living at a time when it's about exposing the false prophets. And
Hmm.
believe that. And I feel like honestly, when I remember before sending the thing I did about the whistleblowers, I told myself, I'm not afraid to die because the only thing I fear is God. The only one
Right.
you should fear is God. And like this whole campaign of evil really is all about making people believe that the false prophet has power. No, this is the moment where we have to use our voices to speak what we believe is the truth. Okay.
Exactly.
And I think it has to do, this is all, and I think if we were talking about this kind of earlier, right? Like that if all we do, like if you look from very, very far away into what is it that we're doing, what is the most important thing that we're not doing here is to remove fear, is to like bring the light and always, and if you have any doubts about things, whenever you ask a question, you ask yourself, is this coming from fear? Or if it is, then it's not the right frame of mind, really. So that answer, that is the question about why it's not that relevant, that it should not stay secret, it should be publicized. And I think that's,
Exactly.
and look at what Trump has done. Like, do you think like, I mean, we're not that like in the grand scheme of thing, we don't have we're not law enforcement, we're not, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't, I don't think it's right, Corinna. Like I don't
Yeah.
think no, it's not
No.
like we should. It was like we have to get into the habit of speaking things that we believe are important and truthful. And I think go for everybody, not just us, right? Because that's the moment on earth where we have to speak up the truth from not from whatever the not repeating the media saying, but listening within and speaking out and sharing. And now seeing that everybody, not everybody, a lot of people are seeing this and what we're seeing. So that's that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So
And
so
fear is so
yeah.
overwhelming. I mean, it can create in the body and the mind. I mean, that's one of the things you and I have been working on for the last 10 years is
Right.
fear comes out my body. So
That's
for
right.
me
Right.
to experience it and not have any now,
Hmm.
that's very telling.
That's right. That's right. So, oh, Corina, are you there? Oh, Corina, I think she dropped. 1 second. Hold on a second. Let's see. Pause the. So I just heard. Did you hear this noise? Okay. Okay. So Corina, she had there was a minor accident, so she's back on. So just going
Yes.
back, coming back here about this was speaking the truth and Corina. So I wanted to ask also. Maybe we should just quickly both of us ask at the same time. Spirit, see what Spirit thinks. Answering this question: should this information stay secret? What do you think, Corina? We asked that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Right.
already, I already know the answer, but let's ask.
But it's good. It's just it's okay. So should we listen to people who for regardless of their whatever they're coming from, should they, do you think the information is crazy? Like, ha 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 ha, no, girl, you're on YouTube. That's the point. They're just saying like,
Yeah.
no, that's it. It's like you have to share. That's right. And I see that it's like once, oh, it's so interesting. It's giving me an image. One time I watched, saw Oprah say something. She said, the most important thing about my interviews with people is that is validation. Everybody wants validation. And that's
Right.
that's the point. And it's saying that when you share these videos, people feel validated. It
That's
resonates.
exactly what I said this morning. Exactly.
Right. So that's why people, and it's
Yeah.
saying a lot of people are asking those questions. And it's saying, it's saying, it shows me also like the river of information. Look at, they're not allowing this to come up when you open, because especially people turn on the TV and they just have these thoughts. And nowhere is anybody asking to really, is it really legit? Is anybody investigating? How could this be? Right. No, it's like, oh, let's just move on to, right. So that's why
Yeah.
you say, no, we want you guys to do it. And we want people to exactly this, feel more comfortable just speaking out. And it's saying this is not protest, quote unquote. It's just you're just asking questions and you just share
Exactly.
seeing. Okay.
Exactly.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay, Corinne. So this is it for the, do you have anything else to ask to add about this part?
Yeah, it's just fear-based. They are putting fear into you because that's the way you control somebody.
That's
So
right.
it's easier to do it with all that fear. So that's the thing. It's like, and you know what? It did show me. You know what it kind of showed me, Rosie? It showed me a vision of our past selves, of all the fear we've dealt with. That's how we used to feel. We don't feel that way anymore.
Okay.
And then I saw, how we always used to see us standing as little girls in a circle holding hands, and somebody, there was a comment, and I'm sorry, I don't want to jump ahead, but I do need to say it like this. But
Mhm.
there was a comment about us like women coming down right now at this time to do this thing. And it shows that vision of all these women holding hands, standing together
Mhm.
to do this. And we have megaphones in our, it's time to use our voices and speak. We
Right.
cannot sit
Right.
silent anymore.
That's
Step
right.
out of the fear.
Okay, great. That's great. Great. That's great. Okay. Okay. Oh, so no, that's great. And just to add, and then we'll move on to the next question. This person, so just to tell you, this is somebody sent me a message, and then it turns out that she sent another message. I haven't replied to her to any of this. She said, "Oh, she apologized, like, oh, I'm so sorry for telling you what it's your channel. You should do whatever you want." So it's sweet, of her to say. But it was just it was a really good example of people really wanting things to be secret. So we just want to address that. Okay. All right.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm gonna pause this. Hold on.
Pause the video.
Okay. Recording. Okay. Okay, guys. So we are back here. Oh, hold on. I'm talking to Corina, and we took a little break, and then we just one second here. Just going to okay. This is the next question. Okay. All right. So did Biden know this was going to happen? That they would essentially cheat at this scale. So in other words, I mean, we all know that there's a lot of Democratic lawyers, and they were trying to do their best they could, I think, just try to stop voter suppression. But the question is, because don't you think, Rena, I do think Biden knew of something, at least for sure.
Yes.
The question
Yeah.
do they know that the scale is going to be this big is the question. Let's see. Okay, so do they know the scale? It's going to be this big. Okay, I got an answer, Corinne, already, an image.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
see Biden, which could be, I don't know if it's some sort of private room situation or something in the White House, talking to the intelligence people, and they're saying this could be really huge, Mr. President. These are the scenarios of the things that could really happen. This could be like this. We're seeing there's the intelligence community was very honest with them, what they were picking up, and it's saying the NSA, all of those agencies, foreign CIA, because CIA, as we all know, deals with things that are abroad. NSA, what's internal, also the FBI. So they said to him, okay, these are the things. It looks very bad the way that they're communicating, the way that they're structuring, and saying they're picking up signals of all kinds. And he's saying, you know what? And I see that his response is this. Okay, I know it's a big risk, and he's asking them, do you have people in place? Do you have
Mm-hmm.
people inside
Mm-hmm.
and be there when it's happening? They said, yes, we do. You do,
Mm-hmm.
we do, sir. And so we have are you tracking the big people? They're like, yes. So he
Mm-hmm.
gave saying that's right, because he gave the go ahead over the possibility, because it's saying if we accuse, it's like really, it's saying how the idea that you would accuse somebody of planning something,
Right.
it's like, and a lot of them are not even here. So that would be really more complicated to prove than some catching them in the act. Okay,
Exactly.
that's what I got. That's what I got. Now, what
Mm-hmm.
do you get, Corina?
That's exactly what I got. And
Okay.
honestly, I'm going to make mine short because it's the same thing. And, here comes the situation room again. But what it showed me this time is a scale of year, like you know how sometimes we do the scale and see the time? Like it was years. This is that situation room. There has not the same people in it, but it has been going on for years.
Oh,
It's not, they know. They knew way back, and it's been ongoing.
okay. All right. So then he chose to take the risk. Okay, so that's the answer.
They have to take the risk. There is no other option. And that's what I'm getting. This is the only option because you can't accuse, you have to prove.
Okay. Okay. Now let's see. This is 2. Now let's go to 3. Okay. Now, or did Biden know some cheating could occur, but he didn't know the magnitude? No, I think now we answered this question also already, right? Like he knew some, yes.
Yeah.
He kind of knew of the magnitude. I mean, he didn't know exactly how it was going to play out. That's what I got. But there was a risk. But again, I think we already answered this question, right? Now you just
Yeah.
answered, right? Okay. Okay.
Well, and one more thing is just the people have bought into lies so easily with Trump's words.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have proof to go up against the words.
All right. Okay. Okay. Now, so that's then a fourth question. So did Kamala know this scenario could happen? Were where they would steal the election win from her. So in other words, the question is like, was she told, or like was she warned that this could happen? Okay, so let's see. This could.
Yeah.
No, it's saying she's a very positive person. I see. Okay, she's a very positive person. She knew. She's also a law
She's been
enforcement.
there yeah, she's been there the whole time.
Yeah. Okay. Let me. Okay. Just okay. So I see that she's okay. She's been seeing. She's a law enforcement professional. Her heart is very open. She's very positive. She sees that she very much saw that she could become president. Yes. But did she know that it could be? Yeah. It's saying though. Of course, it's sort of like an athlete in the Olympics. Of course, anything is possible, but you're playing to win. She's like, I'm gonna make it. It's gonna be okay. And she had the support, and the rallies were real. Her energy was incredible. Was amazing. She knew she had it, and they could try something, but it's saying she's in it to win. She's not gonna be afraid. She's not gonna let fear guide her. So no, I don't think that I mean, she was told. They had these exercises of like what could happen,
Hmm.
saying that they knew that this could happen, but the fact is saying it helps her immensely that she is the VP. So she knows what's going on also. So it's saying that
Exactly.
she places her job, like her current role is more important to her than the candidacy, where like in other words, she cares about the US. So ultimately she knows that it's whatever happens is for the best. Doesn't make sense. So she doesn't put her ego in it. So
Mm-mm.
so did she know? I think she knew of it in a kind of theoretical level. And I see that it hurt. It's like I see like a stabbing, like not real, of course, but like it hurt her, it broke her heart that it happened
Oh,
that way.
absolutely.
But I mean, I think maybe at first it did hurt her, but she knows that everything about her is the first time. She knows that God put her in on this earth to be a trailblazer. And that's also part of being a trailblazer, I feel like. Okay.
Right. Right.
So in a way so I think this is the part, this is what I got. So what did you get, Corina?
Same. She's been there the whole time, but it was a shock the way it came in. But I do get that, they understood that it could happen.
Mhm.
But I also kind of feel like, wow, it did happen. The gravity of it is massive.
Mhm.
So she is heartbroken, but I don't feel that carrying through, so it's she understands what's happening at this time.
All right. Okay, cool. So okay, we'll move on to the next question. Okay, let's see. All right, let's see what's the next question. Okay, so all right, so now let's see if I can just move things here so I can read it. Is this cheating what Trump was referring to when he said we don't need your votes? Is this the secret Trump mentioned he and Mike Johnson? So this is basically two questions in one spot. But I think we can ask at the same time, right? Like two separate
Yeah,
part of
it kind of ties
the.
together.
So is this what? Yes, it's saying thumbs up for the parts.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it's saying yes also to the second part of the question.
Yeah, and it kind of shows me like
Yeah.
second half of where they started hearing how they were going to lose, and they started seeing the numbers, the rallies,
Mhm.
and there was something that was amped up, like almost a change on their part, and that's how they took it.
Okay. All right. Okay. And I'm getting like, okay, and just maybe to the audience that we don't want to make a super
No.
long video. There's so many questions. We're going to try to do it every day. I already have questions now. We know what role did Elon Musk play, but maybe for tomorrow, Karina, right? We'll add that next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's move to this. Okay, here. Oh no, hold on. Sometimes I do that. Okay, so that was okay, Biden. Okay, then. Okay, now. Okay. Couldn't the Biden administration have stopped this before it happened? And if not, why not? Okay.
Hmm.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Corinne. I pressed because I was just double checking that it was recording. It is recording. Okay. Oh, no. Okay. So let's ask. So couldn't the Biden administration have stopped this before it happened? If so, no, why not? Oh, say go back to
No.
we already answered the question essentially,
Yeah.
right? That
Yeah.
they needed more evidence, like it
Yeah.
would years to.
Can't.
Okay, all right. So now let's see the seven. Oh, now, okay. I mean, this is
We
of
have,
course,
yeah,
go ahead.
we have to have a different argument than their argument of cheating, you stole
Right.
it. We have to have the proof.
Okay, all right. So now, what about the Senate and the House? The results of the House. Were these wins legit for whichever party, right? Like meaning, I mean, well, of course we're looking at GOP cheating, but what I mean is like,
Yeah, and honestly, I don't know who won, who didn't, because I haven't paid attention, but I do know Ted Cruz, and that is so not legit.
okay, so without getting into, but let's say this in general, there's just because I was watching the video by Cash Peters. He had all these people, and it's like I sometimes I don't even know who these people are. I it's not this is not the place, the moment to look at every single candidate. So let's
Yeah,
just
no.
general.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so or the some wins were, so we're like, okay, you know what? Maybe I should just rephrase this because
Yeah, because
the reason of the question is this is about the majority in the Senate and the House. So
mm-hmm,
maybe the question is this is the it looks like if things stand, then Republicans probably have either both the House and the Senate, or at least just the Senate. So is this majority going to stand for the GOP given everything else? Right?
mm-hmm,
Let's see. So what's going to happen to the results of the House and the Senate? Yeah, I
mm-hmm.
see they have to pull
It,
people. It's no.
yeah, it's a house of cards at this
Yeah.
moment because
Fully,
it
it's
it all ties together.
that's right. No. So the question, and it's saying, I know this brings up all kinds of other questions, but the bottom line, so is this, no, it's not the final. It's saying no.
It's that we can't answer that yet exactly because it's
It's
a
not.
house of cards.
That's right. And it's saying no, it's not if you're asking if the results are legitimate for all, for in general. No, maybe some are, but no, just don't know.
No,
They're
no,
tainted. They're very tainted, saying, okay. And it
yeah.
says it's not about margin of error, it's saying that some, or of course they wanted to change a lot more. And someone brought up, and I'm getting yes, it's on purpose. Someone said something, there was a comment that said something. It's kind of interesting how the people who are participating in January says they all won.
I
And like,
know
and I'm getting,
exactly. Isn't
yes,
that
that's
amazing?
the point. They wanted to reward them. Yes. Okay. So there's something there.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So let's see now. Okay. Okay. So now this is an extension of that question. If it does come to pass that Kamala is sworn in instead of Trump, will she be able to govern? Meaning, will she have any support from the Senate and or the House? So let's see. Kamala.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, it always shows me, Corina, that the whole, like, you know how when you go buy a ticket in like Ticketmaster or something, there's this different parts of it, like blocks of seats or something. It shows me that
Mm-hmm.
they'll be completely rearranged. They will be completely,
Exactly. Exactly.
that today is not the final picture at all. So
Exactly.
everything is gonna be rearranged. And immediately, maybe this is not, because I don't want to, but you know what? Okay, Corina, is it too much to ask this question? As not, I didn't write this question, but that's the immediate question. I think it's a big question we should address at least. How is this going to be fixed? Because it's not just Kamala, it's the other part of the election. How is this going to be fixed? You know what I mean? Like, do you think it's okay to ask this question?
Sure, because it does all tie together. It's a house of cards. It's coming down, and it's going to be fixed by the. There are people that are going to be that what may have gotten elected, but they might not last very long.
Okay, but
So all of that, and so it's going to be fixed
but
by like let I just what this I get the essence, and so let me say it, and then we can work backward. I get the essence of next, like she's sworn in, and I get like an easy essence of passing. We're passing stuff. Things are going through. We're passing. So that tells me we have to have some sort of power.
okay. But that's okay. No, so I guess it did answer the question, the initial question, but not the other part of the question. I guess, and we don't have to know everything. But my question essentially was this: are we going to have a new? Because with this confusion, does this mean that we're going to have a whole new election, or that they're just going to do some fixes and then it's going?
Yeah, I don't see a whole new election. I see the proof that she won, overwhelmingly won. That there is
But what
nothing
about
to.
no? But for example, you said Ted Cruz, like you said the whole thing. How are we? Is there proof that, for example, Ted Cruz did not win?
Yes.
And is it going to be like, let's just say this, and let's say July 2025, is Ted Cruz going to be in the Senate? Because that will tell us if
Yeah.
he's been sworn in or whatever, he's going to keep his seat. Is Ted Cruz going to be Senate, July 2025, just a random, like, middle of the year.
I think he needs to get on a plane and head to Cancun.
No, but really, Corina, I'm serious.
Yeah, I don't see him there.
Is he? No, I see there's a vacant seat. Interesting. Maybe that's the answer. There's a because it was like his name on it, but it's a vacant. So
Yeah,
what
he's
about
not there.
Holland, yes, he's there. Yes, I see him there in the Senate. Yes.
I
Interesting.
just heard the rightful ones will take their places.
Oh, good. Okay, so that's the answer. That's good enough for now because it's it must be so complicated. Like, just for another
It
time.
is so complicated,
Okay.
but the rightful ones will take their
Oh, good.
places.
Good. Okay. All right. So let's continue. Okay. So then let's see. Also, the statewide abortion proposal also received abnormally high amounts of votes. Oh, I guess I cut it. Were these, I guess I cut it off, but it was like, were these legit? I mean, it seems very fraudulent. And are they going to be
Of
undone?
course, it's fraudulent.
Yes, of
Yeah,
course. The
yes, of course.
80%. Wow, it shows me it gives me a figure something like that 80% of the votes for most of these things are fake.
Yeah, yeah,
There were very few votes, and then they just added them in. They're like, what policy do we?
exactly.
And they picked and then changed. And
Yeah,
I see
and
I see these kids. Honestly, I do see them as American kids, Silicon Valley kids. Like they have the code to change the thing, and they did it. Okay, it doesn't. I mean, this is for another time to see exactly how they did it. But I see
another time because of what I
yeah.
told you this morning too.
Oh, that thing. Okay, okay, I see. Was that that thing about the letter or whatever something, right?
No, the in space, what
Oh,
I
that's
saw.
right. Okay, that's right. So we'll talk about it another time, but we
Hmm.
out another, okay. So all right, so okay, okay, so that's it with the fraudulent. That's it. Okay, so that
And you know what I got to while you're talking?
mm,
It is Kamala's, like, I don't, I want to say, I'm sure she'd have others, but I what's trying to come out is it will be Kamala's proudest moment. And a woman is going to restore our rights. It's meant for
oh,
her
oh,
to do
excellent.
it.
Oh, very good. Okay, okay, cool. Okay. So okay, so now this is a question that Quinn and I discussed a lot. Like what, we found this comment that would address that because we saw that on and off a lot. What do we need to do? Tell us what to do. So and then like so what do we, what does spirit what does spirit recommend that people do? What should people do? I think it's a really brilliant question, right? So let's ask
Yeah.
like that. What do
Okay.
we do? I was saying that's right. It should, okay, so I'll start go ahead. Like I was saying, should turn off the turn off the TV, turn off the phone. Don't like engage in a lot of social media. Don't like answer to people like bragging that they want. Don't do that. Saying go meditate and send prayer to Kamala. Like, I see people pray to the image of Kamala in the White House. Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and it's saying almost create your own quote unquote TV show. Ask your intuition. What does intuition say?
Exactly.
Ask
Exactly.
yourself. This is a time when people should also be wakening up to their own
Oh my God, I'm getting the
powers of also just logic because it just didn't make sense. So
yes. Oh
it's
my
like
God.
not just intuition, but logic. It doesn't make sense. The story, it's sort of like if you saw this in a crime show, because I watch crime shows a lot. So would that make sense to be like, no, no way,
No,
hell
no,
no.
exactly.
So, but saying
Exactly.
keep it to yourself now, and and I got this earlier too, saying that when people like, let's say for example, sometimes I like there was a lot of comments I deleted or whatever, trolls like, hey, you were like coping or whatever, like I don't know, Trump won. It's like do not engage, don't engage,
Right.
saying do not engage, delete it, don't engage. And if you have family members with it, it's like okay, good for him, I'm happy for him. Just basically do not engage, don't let your emotion get wasted on that. Put the focus on seeing Kamala in the White House and focusing on the truth. Oh, Corinna, this leads to another question. It's very similar, but a different side of the coin. Some people said, oh, I should pray. I'm praying for Trump not to be, and someone else said, no, so what should we pray for? If we,
Well, exactly. That's kind of first of all, while you were saying that, I'm just buzzing and vibrating because I get the same thing. It's exactly the same. We know it's we're keep the negative words out of your mouth. And I saw the same thing. It is like turn off all anything that creates that electrical feeling, that negative feeling, turn it off. We are in a time of trust your intuition, go within, create this within yourself and stand in knowing the truth and
Okay.
keep the negative words out of your mouth
Okay.
and don't speak negatively. Like Rosie said, only picture the outcome, and because that's the end result we want. So stay positive. Don't let the fear overtake you, because that is the strongest emotion you can have.
All right.
So keep your energy out of fear.
Okay. Okay. Cool. That's good. That's good. Okay. So we answered the question. We answered the question. Okay. So, okay. Just because we did discuss this. So we and I had discussed, should we like tell people to contact their senators or like, that kind of action like that? Does that what to do in that way? No, it's saying this, affirm, put it out in the world. And then you don't have to say, like we said, like Kamala is the rightful winner. It's saying there is room for doubt, don't you think? Think about the numbers. Like start discussing with people if you bring it if it comes up. But it's saying don't get sad. Just put it out. Have you start with numbers? Like I say, how interesting that there's 20. I find that interesting. There's 20 million votes missing. How fascinating I find interesting, Really,
Yeah,
like just so it's saying that we should speak the doubt. If we shouldn't be afraid, and it's saying goes back to the comment at the very beginning where like people like maybe you shouldn't say anything. No, we should say it a lot. We should
exactly.
say there's questions. And
Yes,
when people say, "Well, but he's the winner," media outlets have declared him to be the winner, but this is not the official result quite yet. So does it make sense? So it's saying that we should speak it out, that there's doubts about it. Trump, and say, don't worry that Trump used this tactic, whatever, to lie, forget about him. It's about her.
exactly.
Everything is about Kamala being the right. Just forget about him.
Yeah,
We
don't give him any more energy.
yeah, don't mention his name. It's all about her. The narrative is about her. She got more votes, and there's another candidate who we don't need to ask to repeat his name. Okay, so that's what I got. Yeah, Corina.
Yep,
That's
yep, exactly.
okay. All right. Okay.
You said it perfectly.
All right. So let's see here now. Let's see. 11. So this, guys, and by the way, I have not, and I don't think you have either, Corina. I'm making such an effort to not to not look.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
So I'm really not, because I really don't want to be like, because that's how I normally do. Like I like check the news so much. It's like this, that. No, I don't want to, because I don't, again, want to be, I just don't want to be influenced. But this is factual, and this is from Jack Smith, who we trust. So here, breaking. Jack Smith just asked for the current court timeline to be thrown out and for him to have more time up until December 2nd, at which he will make very critical filings of evidence and other motions in the previous election interference. This will obviously lead past Thanksgiving, you said, but before Christmas, as stated, because yes, if you haven't watched the last video, we said that by Christmas it should be resolved. I've been following the details of the case closed. They have him dead to ranks on that and being a traitor. They have up their sleeves that he's obviously guilty from the last time. So okay, so Brenda, what's going on with Jack Smith and this December 2nd thing? That's the question, I think, right? Broadly speaking, let's just ask.
Yeah.
What does Jack Smith have up on his sleeve about Tehran?
Yeah,
And this,
because there is something up the sleeve.
right? Okay, so
Yeah,
what's going on with Jack
and
Smith?
it's not a Subway sandwich.
What's going on with and I see he has lined up evidence like everywhere in his room.
Oh God, I know. Oh my God.
Okay, so why is it? Oh, saying that's right. We have
It's like you could make wallpaper.
that's
Like
right.
that's what I see. It's like wallpaper. There's so much evidence.
Oh, and it's saying that he is in fact. It's like again goes back to those crime shows I used to watch when they have the evidence room on the FBI when they bring in the suspect. And I see that he puts up like all the big parts of the case that are probably not public or something. And then they bring up the new evidence that they got from and they kind of connect the two. They say
Hmm.
this is what he's doing again, blah, blah. So, okay, so then what is he going? So is just Jack Smith planning to grab Trump before? Like, does it make sense what I'm saying, Corina? How is this going to be resolved? Like, okay, so how does he have a plan how to nail Trump before he go? Does he have no, it's saying okay, I'm getting ready to think Rosie, he cannot girl.
Yeah.
It's true, girl, it's true. It's true, girl. Girl,
Yeah.
Saying
they're in the
he's
situation room.
he's destroying America. He's dealing with another. He's selling the country. He's wow, and I see that he's selling to Saudi. Like, hey, Saudis, do you want that national park? Do you want this? Like, he's selling
Yeah, selling the
already,
soul.
selling America already. Like, that's it. He's
The bill
already
of sale.
got it
Yeah.
already.
Oh my God.
And
Yeah.
so, like, no, the guy is not. It's a bit like, okay, it sounds like it's a weird comparison, but it's sort of saying like getting a rapist, getting a child molester to work at a kindergarten. You know what I mean? Like something
At Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah.
like something like it's the person who wants to destroy the country should not become president because and it's saying where do you have evidence here? Boom, let's just get it done.
Yeah.
And it's saying yes, because this is a national security issue, it has to be addressed now. That's right. You
Right.
cannot wait. Oh, let's wait. Is it really gonna destroy America? Let's see. We already have enough evidence.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
that's why they wait for the final evidence of the election.
Oh, that's right. And
That seals the deal.
that's right. And I'm getting yes, he has to check with what they have so that when he goes out, boom. Like, and I see that it's funny. Oh my God, it's so funny. You know, the trash truck, garbage
He's in
collecting.
the back of it waving now.
No, Jack Smith is driving the truck. And he's like, I'm here to pick up the trash.
Oh God. And you know what? I just saw him hang his head out the window. Remember how Trump goes, any questions? Jack Smith hangs his head out the window and goes, any questions?
Wow,
Like
that's
he's
right.
got
So
that sucker.
yeah, it's like, oh, here I am. Here, I'm driving. I know how to drive the
Yeah.
garbage truck. I'm parking. I'm grabbing the trash and I'm taking it out. I'm taking it out to the
Yeah.
pump or whatever.
Any questions?
So that's it. He's like, boom, the day comes, boom, comes, grab the trash and takes out. I take out the trash. It's like trash couldn't take himself out. I'm a
Who took the dogs out?
that's right. So
Yeah, that's
okay.
great.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So okay,
Yeah.
this person did not bring this question up, but I still there was I like I said I have not checked, but the case in New York State with Judge Merchant, like
Mershon.
Merchant,
Mershon.
yeah. So what is up with that? Is he because there was news that he could maybe reschedule it or what's going to happen with that? What's happening now with that, and what's the next step on that, Corina?
Yeah, I see. I do feel that this is like that's also like now there's something they have to wait because oh my I okay. It feels now that it could be almost bigger. Would that make sense? That here's the thing. I am not so much on each case what each one is, so I'm just going to tell you what I feel. But it almost feels like there's a hand like wait. We might have something to add to that, or that it's bigger, or they can come in with a bigger sentence. Like,
That's right.
I don't know. It's like he's more free to sentence bigger.
But I
Would
have a
that make sense?
yes, it makes
I
sense.
don't know.
You know what? I have another question. I know we have it. It's like that's the only way we figure out is like we talk about it. So back to the things we saw. One of the things we said yesterday, and I apologize because maybe I wonder if I like forced the issue or the question. So the question is, how is he going to get grabbed? Because I had seen that the way that he's taken or like into some sort of confinement is that there's this issue of his sentencing, but
Yeah, see, it's like that part is blurry to me. I don't think we're meant to know that exactly. But I did this morning have another vision of him at the White House with Joe. And maybe it's just because that's the, familial, the only place I could picture. I couldn't picture any other place. But he's sitting there and I saw a white glove. Like it was, so to me, that almost represented like top military,
I see.
but it
Okay.
was a white glove and it came on to Trump. Like, he's talking to Joe, like getting all the, and a white gloves comes onto his shoulder. And it's like, excuse me, sir, you need to come with us.
Okay.
So, but I don't know the details leading up to it. It's just blurry. It's like we're not meant to have.
Oh, and something else, and they're kind of yelling at me here. They're saying, Rosie, he's not going to run away. Secret Service is all around him. So
Yeah.
he's already by nature of his situation, he's already being monitored. So don't worry, is what I'm getting, okay? In that sense, it
Exactly.
can happen. It's a yes, it's written in stone, it's gonna be yes, okay. So all right, so then the next part. All right, let's see. Okay, so this came from Jade. Jade she's been a member in the group. She's a really wonderful person. I
Love
don't
Jade.
what? I'm sorry,
Love
what?
Jade.
Yes, love yes. So the thing is like I don't know this I don't know if this is legit to be honest. And I try to like search. I didn't find anything that confirms this technically, but still let's look into it and find out is this because this could very well be disinformation to confuse us or not, but let's see what we get. So it's saying breaking because again, I did not find anything to confirm this necessarily. So we're just gonna go with this and ask.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
Joe Biden's reportedly in a meeting right now with constitutional lawyers, experts on presidential immunity, and SEAL Team 6. That seems like weird, like, right? So what is up? Is this true? What's going on? And maybe what is I mean, but it's telling me no, don't ask that question. You're not supposed to
Yeah,
know.
no, exactly.
So
Yeah.
is he meeting right now, constitutional lawyers?
No. I
No.
mean,
Oh,
I'm not saying no to the answer. I'm just
yeah.
saying no to let's
No.
not go. Yeah,
It's saying that no, it's saying those people would not meet in the same room. Like, why
no.
would constitutional lawyer be meeting with the oh hi, I'm a Navy SEAL. What are you doing here? I'm a constitutional lawyer. Oh, how's
Yeah.
life?
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
just seems like it's not
No, and SEAL Team 6 is different. And
no.
if it was something, it would be not above ground. No,
Okay,
that wouldn't come out. That wouldn't come out.
and it's saying no, you're not supposed to
Yeah.
know. And this is also goes back to the first question that we addressed today, the thing about being secret. So it's saying when
Right.
does not want us to know something, it doesn't tell us. It goes
Right.
that's simple as that. Simple as that.
Exactly. It
So
either goes blurry or we don't get the answers, or yeah, it's just not, we're not meant to know certain things, but certain things we are.
so let's see here. So I think I thought that was the last one. Oh no, okay. Okay, so no, this is the wrong number here, but still is the one question that we really wanted to ask, right, Corina? This I was
Yeah.
right. So is the question about the MAGA. This is what we debated whether it was going to be. Let's just leave it toward the end. So I was sent this video from a friend. I can see this so much bigger than any of us could have imagined. However, how is this going to get through to his MAGA followers? Even if it's gone, I can see any of his followers ever believing it. Would appreciate any thoughts on this. So it's saying. It's so funny. Oh my God, I'm getting so funny. You know how like Trump used to say, those people used to say, F your feelings. F
Exactly. That's what I said
your
earlier.
feelings.
Remember, I
And
said,
it's saying like it shows me the dimension of this massive terrorist attack on the country, what it was. And like, oh, but it's like F your feelings. There's something bigger than you and how you feel today. It's like country. Okay?
that's,
Get over yourself.
yeah, that's
Get over
exactly what I
yourself.
said earlier. Remember,
Get
it's
over
like,
yourself.
no, don't worry
And
that we're
and
not.
someone's like, and I see there's those people that kind of like the Charlottesville people, they like, they kind of have huge bellies. And it's like these people haven't like gone up a side of the stairs in like years. Like those people with like their huge guns or something. It's like, yeah, man, I'm gonna go show him. I'm gonna go. It's like, okay, well, if you be prepared, there's 20 years term life, sentence if you have a loaded firearm and you try to like it's saying just a reminder, it's a free country until they break the law. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So
exactly.
that's it. And they're like, oh, okay. Okay. Wait, okay. So so no, I don't think and the guys, unfortunately, that there weren't enough people voting for him. That's why they had to cheat. That's the bottom line. There's a bunch of people that like are being, trolls or whatever, but they don't represent the base because the base didn't really show up enough. That's why they had to cheat. Okay.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
It's almost like you puff your chest out so big and it's like bravado. And then you let the breath out and it's like you're a deflated balloon. It's like there's nothing. I
yeah.
mean, there's not anything behind those people, but it's not our job to worry about their feelings. And it's our job to get the truth out and how they deal with it. You know, now it is our job to just hold the light,
Mhm.
hold space with the light. That's all we can do. We can't worry about them.
Mhm.
Let's just picture the future we want to see.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's see if there's more. I think it's probably my mistake if there was more. because I think like that's it. No, that's it, Karina. So that's it, right? Like let's see, actually stop share. So all right, so okay, so that's it, right, Karina? Like we don't have. I think we're going to try to come back the next few days, right? Also, as I know, until we figure this out, or right? Like, what do you
Yeah,
think?
it does, if people want us to help them through this, then I think that's what our role can be, because it does seem to help calm people down.
Okay.
And we're in a tumultuous time right now that a lot of people don't see what we see. And so if we can only be honest with what we see. We're only, spiritual beings living a human experience too. So, we can only do what we can do, but we're here to help if we can.
All right. No, that's great. That's great, Karina. Okay, so again, like we said, I was just thinking there, I'm sure there's questions that we're gonna try to like answer them, other questions that we can. I know it's gonna be a long video, but we wanted to try to not make it super long, so that's why. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly.
Anything else you want to say, Karina, before we go?
No, I think we covered everything. Just stay
Uh-huh.
positive,
All right.
stand in the truth.
Yes. Oh, excellent. Okay, great. This is wonderful. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys, and have a
Thank
good.
you.
Okay, and we'll talk soon. Okay.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Bye. Karina.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, so I'm just gonna pause, the